My warm greetings to every one of you guys who are watching this video. I have a very important message for all of you today. I bet you all heard words immune system, immunity, especially now when there is a pandemic outrage across the world. I want you to ask yourself and think for a second, what exactly do you know about immune system? We all have some understanding and common knowledge about respiratory system or digestive system or cardiovascular system because we know which organs constitute those systems. We know how they look like and can imagine to a certain extent how they function. It is not so clear and straightforward when it comes to immune system. On top of that, like every system in the human organism, immune system can and does age, deteriorate, and malfunction. And many of us observe or even experience this phenomenon throughout the decades of life. The impaired immune responses or the decline of ability to resist pathogens due to weakened or aged and weakened immunity. In medicine and science, the aging of immune system has a specific term for it, immunosenescence. In a nutshell, immunosenescence is associated with increased susceptibility to infections, increased possibility of autoimmune disease and cancer. But of course, medical science is constantly improving the existing strategies of counteracting and combating the unwanted outcomes and repercussions of the immune system decline and finding new ones. For those who are willing to learn deeper about the immune system, I suggest you watch the entire lecture about the therapeutic strategies of biological regenerative medicine in reversal of immune senescence, which was presented as a continuous medical education for attendees and students of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine and European Wellness Academy. Here is the link to the entire lecture, and there is a link in the description as well. But now, let's make a mini dive into the immune system. Needless to say that the COVID pandemic has hardly left a single household, family, or even a person unaffected. This pandemic has served as a fantastic reminder about the importance of maintaining good health and adequate immune system responses. We have a clear evidence that senior citizens, individuals with underlying chronic age-related conditions, and cancer patients are more at risk compared to young and healthy folks. What is the commonality between those who develop severe form of the disease? The answer is obvious: weakened immune system. When we speak about immune system, it is necessary to introduce the notion about the types of immunity: innate and natural immunity that everyone is born with, including the natural membranes and barriers of the body, complement system, interferon, phagocytosis, which is performed by macrophages, NK cells, to mention few, and adaptive immunity, also known as acquired immunity, which develops in response to the pathogens that organism encounters throughout the entire life. Like every system in a living organism, immune system has its organs. Primary lymphoid organs, bone marrow, where the blood cells, including the immune cells, are produced. Thymus, also the primary lymphoid organ, where immune cells undergo maturation and specialization. Secondary lymphoid organs, lymph nodes, spleen, tonsils, where further proliferation and maturation of immune cells is happening, as well as filtering and trapping of pathogens and antigens and their inactivation and elimination. Different immune cells perform different functions. For instance, macrophages perform phagocytosis. NK cells, that stand for natural killer cells, produce gamma interferon and tumor necrosis factor and have a direct killing effect on viruses and tumor cells. By stimulating the conversion of passive immune cells, monocytes, into activated cells called macrophages, the phenomenon of phagocytosis is enabled. In addition to that, similar to NK cells, macrophages produce cytokines that in its turn activate other immune cells and involve other immune response pathways. Another interesting and clinically relevant phenomenon is age-related thymic involution. Throughout entire life, human thymus is undergoing involution. The anatomical involution of thymus results in its functional decline. The functional decline of thymus means that less lymphocytes will undergo maturation and differentiation as opposed to what is happening inside the young thymic tissue. In the article titled Thymic Involution and Rising Disease Incidence with Age, published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of USA in 2018, researchers published data demonstrating that, quote-unquote, a strong link between T-cell production and incidence of both infectious disease and cancer. Some disease incidence curves rise exponentially, inversely proportional to the T-cell production. Thymic involution plus structural changes in other immune organs, dysregulation in innate immune system altogether result in a condition called immunosenescence. At the same time, there is an age-related shift towards increased autoimmune component, which is known as InflammAging, the chronic low-grade inflammatory reaction. You can learn more about all of these in the full video presentation about immune system that I have on my Instagram page and YouTube channel, where I explain in details what the immunosenescence and InflammAging are and why they play such a pivotal role in health, longevity, and disease prevention, including cancer. The main targets of thymic therapy are the stimulation of reconstitution of thymus, means its structural restoration, and as its consequence, functional revitalization. Along with that, various thymic extracts were known to have a direct effect on viral particles and were found effective in treatment of various forms of cancer. The list of conditions that were treated with immunomodulatory peptides of thymus is really long. It includes respiratory viral conditions, autoimmune conditions including thyroiditis, Hashimoto goiter, ulcerative colitis, COPD, individuals undergoing chemo and radiotherapy, chronic infections, fibromyalgia, various dermatological conditions, and many more. Immunotherapy with thymic extracts and peptides is also supported by good safety data, as studies show that even after several months to more than a year of continuous thymic therapy, no major adverse effects were reported. Remarkably, Thymus therapy was reported to be used not only in adults, but in children as well. Now, let's not forget about the innate immunity. Innate immunity can be enhanced as well. For instance, macrophage activating factor can increase the number of active macrophages capable of performing phagocytosis, which is pretty much obvious from its name. In short, its precursor is called GCMF. It is important to mention that the peptide macrophage activating factor is a vitamin D3 dependent molecule. Hence, for its optimal efficacy, GCMF requires GCMF essential. The topic of GCMF is so interesting that it requires to be told separately, which we definitely will do in the nearest future. Meanwhile, coming back to innate immunity, NK cells are known to be stimulated by a number of biologically active substances, including leukocytic dialysates, also known as transfer factors. Transfer factors are incredible small molecules that have the ability to stimulate multiple pathways of immune response and possess immunomodulatory properties. Super transfer factor has wide range of applications. Same as about thymus therapy and its applications in various diseases, there are entire books written about transfer factor and its protocols of use in different conditions. One of the most remarkable outcomes of complementary immunotherapy protocol with super transfer factor as the main component that I have witnessed was a case of a dramatic improvement of severe eczema resistant to other treatment methods. The result was so cool that we have even published a medical case report article about it. Speaking of publications, that was not the only publication that we have in European Wellness Academy about immunotherapy protocols and how they help with recovery from various conditions. There is quite a number of publications, books and articles covering different health topics, and of course, right at this moment, we're doing more research, so we will have more information for you. And by the way, we're just a few months away from publishing a new book about Thymus and Thymic Therapy. I'm working on this book really hard right now. Meanwhile, if you want to know more about the European Wellness Complementary Immunotherapy protocols, you can always ask us in European Wellness Academy and join one of our webinars, or ask an expert in European Wellness Retreat. They will be more than happy to help. Please remember, strong immune system is your bulletproof vest against diseases and aging. And meanwhile, stay healthy, be alive, and have fun.